Take one. It's Kaskade. Recording live from my recording live from my closet, because acoustically it's the best room in my house. So there it is. Boo! This is my closet, or part of it. You're seeing part of my closet. All right, Sasha from Atlanta, Georgia. Can you pronounce your full name with proper hometown accent? Thanks. Ryan Radden, aka Kaskade, 1/2 of KX5 or K5, depending on where you are in the world. Yeah, I hope that was with proper hometown accent. There you go, Sasha. Let's see. Next question. Maddie from Nashville, Tennessee. Is saying Khaled or Khaled the new potato? That's a good question. I don't know. Potato, Khaled. Sure, man. Tomato. It's all the same to me. Let's see what else we got in here. Let's check that out. Make sure we're recording. Oh, it's going. Sona from Oakland, California. Who called who first? Who came up with KX5 name? Were there other names under consideration? Who called who first? I don't know. A long time ago, I reached out to Deadmau5 first. That was for our initial collaboration way back when. And I don't know who initiated this newest discussion. I think we just kept seeing each other at festivals and at random clubs and in an airport. And I was like, let's work. But I don't know if I said that first or if he said that first. Anyway, were there other names under consideration? Yeah, I don't know. We had a small list, but really KX5 was the best one. I mean, I don't know, kind of combined both our names into something that was memorable. So we went with that. Natasha from Orlando, Florida for Deadmau5. How big is your closet at home? All your headgear. That's amazing, because I'm actually recording the video in my closet. But it's for Deadmau5. His closet, I know he has a storage facility full of different heads, so that's some other stuff there. Sumaya from London, UK. When you master your songs, do you export just one master or several? For example, one master for live clubs, one for streaming, one for CD, etc. I typically just do one master. I don't master it differently, like, oh, this is the master that's going to the radio, this is the master that's going to be streaming. What I'll do is different edits. I'll do like an extended edit for the club that's more playable and DJ friendly, and then like a edit that's more appropriate for the radio. But the same master. Excuse me. Ay. All right, let's keep going. Bailey from Cincinnati, Ohio. What's up, Bailey? If you were in a taxi with my grandma and she asked you to tell her what you do for a living, how would you explain it? Very easy. Grandma, I'm a musician. I write and produce songs. And I go out on the road a lot and perform them. Oh, wow, that's interesting. What do you play? That's always the follow-up question. I'm like, well, you know, I took some piano lessons as a kid, drum lessons, you know. I think I did a couple lessons on the trumpet. A lot of lessons over the years. But then I'm like, well, you know, I do electronic music. You're familiar with dance music, you know, modern pop music. Yeah, DJs are very popular now, so I DJ quite a bit on the weekends, go to different festivals and clubs. And most people, you'd be surprised. Even the grandmas get down. They know what's up. I'm always surprised. Michelle from Portland, Oregon. I just wanted to ask if you have any dogs or pets. I have a dog. It's a Maltese Yorkie mix. Morkey, and his name is Pepper, and he's awesome. Where's Pepper? Pepper's not here. I'm in my closet, so Pepper can't be barking and making loud, distracting noises so I could do this interview. Sophia from Ridgewood, New York. Do you guys plan on coming back to New York soon? I miss you guys. Sophia, I want to go to New York tomorrow. I would leave tonight if I could. I love New York City. There's always plans to go back there. When they come to fruition, that's not. I'm sure I'll be back soon. I'm sure Joe will be back soon. I'm sure we'll be back soon. All right. Looking forward to it. New York City. Love New York. Love it. Maureen from Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you're on Family Feud with Steve Harvey, if you're on Family Feud with Steve Harvey, who are your 4 teammates? That's a good question. My 4 teammates. Well, it depends. Is it like a theme? Like coworkers and colleagues? Because it would be me, Deadmau5. And we get 4. Is it 4? Yes, it's 4. Me, Deadmau5. Maybe it's Eric Prydz. Maybe Diplo. I don't know. I'm just taking a stab. That's who I'd ask. I got a lot of boys out there in this scene. Man, I wish Deadmau5 was here in this room with me, because then we could strategize. Because you always want to go for like the smart guy, the straight player. I don't know. Let's see. Lana from Des Moines, Iowa. What emoji would you use to describe yourself? Oh, this is easy. I would do that. You know, the teeth like rounded, like. I don't know if that necessarily describes myself, but that's certainly the emoji I use the most. No idea why. I don't know what that says about me, but. Cherish from Panama City. I love Panama City. What do you like most about yourself? I love that I am chill. Just that thing out. Oh, there's nobody here to laugh with me. All right. Next. Allison from Charleston, West Virginia. What hair care products do you use? Check that out. Let me see. What? Little sea salt. Sea salt from the ocean. I just was surfing a few hours ago. As you can see, a lot of sun on my forehead. I hope the lighting's helping that out and not making it worse. Ocean products and a little like texturing clay. There it is. Deep secrets revealed. Leanna from Grand Rapids, Michigan. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment? Oh, biggest accomplishment. I think every time I put an album out, I feel very accomplished. Because putting an album together, you know, you sit down and you write and produce a song, and that's cool. It's an idea. It's like one idea. And that's neat. Putting a single out is great. Or a dance track, or, you know, whatever it is. But I think when I sit down to do an album, it's this much bigger idea. It's all these little ideas comprised into a big idea. So for me, that's always like kind of a momentous occasion when I complete an album, get to share it with everybody. I've done that quite a few times. And I think other on my list, the other things is when I have these massive shows and I get to stand on stage and look out at this huge audience with all the people that have connected with these songs that I've written. I don't know, just most recently in my memory is the concert that I had at SoFi Stadium here in Los Angeles. Just one of those huge moments for me, looking out at a stadium full of people that are singing these songs along with me that I, wrote sitting in bed or at my kitchen table or in the studio. So cool moments. Sophie from Indianapolis, Indiana. Who's the most famous person you've actually walked up to and asked for their autograph or to be in a picture with them? I don't think I've ever done that. Is that weird? Does that make me strange? I don't think I've ever done that. But one that comes to mind, I was hanging out. We were both speaking on this panel with Tony Hawk, and luckily, because this is like a childhood idol, Tony Hawk, professional skateboarder, if you're not familiar with him, we were all kind of just hanging out, and somebody was like, hey, let's get a picture of you guys. You guys are speaking on this. Snap the picture. And after he snapped the picture, I was like, well, that's really cool. And I went to the guy like, hey, man, could you hook me up with that picture? So I was like, yeah, I want to remember this moment because I have a really crappy memory. All right, so there's that. Tony Hawk. Okay, Stephanie from Savannah, Georgia. If you had to have a theme song play whenever you entered a room, what would it be? The Price is Right theme song. And I only say that because I was just with Deadmau5 in the studio and he played that song for me. We played it to kind of like have a moment where we were clearing the palette and in awe of how cool that theme song was. And so it's just fresh in my head. There it is. Melissa from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. What was your first cell phone? It was the flip. And I got the silver one, the silver flip phone. What was that called? Was it a Nokia? Oh man, dang it, I was cool. Flipped open. Dude, I was crushing it back then. Tashi from Trenton, New Jersey. Have you ever written the greatest song in your head and then couldn't translate it into notes and words? No, I don't think that's happened, but just in this session that I just recently had with Deadmau5, I was working with the songwriter. We were collaborating on this, kind of like the lyrical content of the song. And I was like, oh, hey, what if the lyrics said, ba ba da ba 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 ba, like that, that. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's really good. Repeat it, and I'll write it down. And I was like, wait. I'm like, what did I say after that? I'm like, oh, wait. I forgot it. Hold on. What is it? And she was like, no, you said it this. And then I couldn't get it back. I was like, oh, it'll come back in a minute. Hold on. And then it didn't ever come back. And a little tear went down my cheek. That's all right. I'm sure I will, wrote something better later. So if it was that good, I would have remembered it. Beth from Nashville, Tennessee. If the answer on Jeopardy was KX5, what was the question? Who makes the best music in the entire world? Saying that with all humility. All right, and a straight face. Joni from Niagara Falls, Ontario for Deadmau5. Do you get home to Canada much? Yes, he does. He goes to Canada, eh? He's about as Canadian as it gets. Canada. Deadmau5 should have the Canadian flag tattooed across his chest. I'm going to bring that up to him as a suggestion. Diana from Toronto, Ontario. What's the best advice that a music lyric has ever given you? Be still, my soul. That's a good one. All right. Mayrin from Monterey, Mexico. Have you counted the number of shows you've done to date? I have. And I only did that because somebody asked me one time. We were out at dinner, and it was an old buddy. He said, how many shows have you done in your career? And I said, I don't know. I'm not totally sure. Let me think about that for a minute. And I started just roughly doing math. And I said, I think it's in the neighborhood of 5,000. And he was like, that's impossible. Well, you've been DJing every day for the last 10 years. And I'm like, no, but I've been DJing a lot, 3-4 times a week for the last 25 years. And then I went and kind of did it. And I was like, no, it's probably over 4,000, 4,500. But that conversation was a few years ago. So yeah, I'm probably in that 5,000 neighborhood. It's a lot of shows. Oliver from from Laredo, Texas. What do you do when you have to yawn on stage? I Good question. I don't think that I've had to yawn on stage. I don't think that's happened. My shows are so physical and I'm so like boom, 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 involved and just like raging that, yeah, I don't think I've had to yawn on stage. But I've had to go to the bathroom before. That has happened. So, mystery solved. I just put on a really long song. The longest show that I've played was 12 hours. That's a long time. I actually made it through that show without going to the bathroom. Insane, I know. Yes, but I planned mentally. I prepared. I went to that place where I was like, I am ready to execute. But one time when I was doing a shorter show, I just didn't plan well. I had to go pee. So I just put on a really long record and had them clear a pathway to the bathroom, and I went to the bathroom and ran back. And I did it so quick. I'm not sure that anyone even noticed. They were having such a good time. All right. Oh. Tara from Huntington, West Virginia. Just let me see how many. Oh my gosh, 16 minutes. If you were on a dating site, what quality do you have that you would lead your profile off with? Good looking, charming. I don't know. I have no idea, and thankfully I'm not single and I don't have to think about that. I'm gonna go with charming. Ryan, he's charming. I'm charming. And then I'd put my like senior high school photo in there. Violetta from Queens, can you tell us a little bit about your early years starting out? Did you travel far away for tours? Yes, I traveled all over the world and played for peanuts and just was grinding to make it happen. I played everywhere. I don't know. And I think I'm going to wrap it up, maybe with one more. Let's see. Do you travel economy, business, or first class? Love you so much. Bella from Burlington, Vermont. What were your biggest insecurities while you were trying to follow your dreams? Wow. I really like that one. Biggest insecurities. I think in art or entertainment, the most difficult thing to overcome, certainly this was one of them for me, is just like lack of confidence. You have to believe in yourself so much. So even when I wrote like my first song or produced my first song or did my first remix, like people take you for what you give them. If I'm like, no, this song's awesome, I love it, man, you got to do it. You got to check this out. You have to believe in yourself and the product that you're making. If you're a painter, you have to be like, here's this beautiful painting I made. You have to be able to, because you're sharing that with everyone. And there's always going to be somebody out there that hates it, and there'll probably be somebody out there that loves it, and a lot of people in between. So you got to believe in what you're doing. You can't listen to all the naysayers. You can't listen to the hoorah out there. And that's really hard to overcome in the beginning. You got to believe in yourself. That takes a minute to kind of, find your stride, or it did for me anyway. All right, thanks you guys. Kaskade, over and out, 1/2 of KX5. There it is. Done.